Ever wondered how to get your extra fuel fitting in your fuel tank? Today I'm going to show you how. Welcome back to the Power Public YouTube channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to install an extra fuel fitting into your fuel tank. Now this is used for the cadet carts on the mini rock engines where we run a return line. Also for the KZ guys, sometimes they have a return line to the fuel tank too, so that there's any excess pressure in the fuel lines from the fuel pump, it doesn't overpower the needle in the seat of the carburetor, and we can just bleed off some of that pressure and the excess fuel back to the fuel tank. If you find these videos helpful, please consider subscribing and turning on the notifications. And also, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So for this job, you're going to require a couple of simple tools: 10mm drill bit, a set of vice grips or multi-grips, a 14mm ring spanner, the fitting, and a piece of brake line or accelerator cable. The first thing you're going to do is get your 10mm drill bit, put it into the battery drill, and then we're going to drill the hole. But make sure that you've selected the slowest speed on the drill first. Put the tip of the drill onto the marks and slowly rotate the drill. If you do it like that and pause the drill as you're drilling it, now if you pull back on your hand and squeeze the trigger at the same time, you can pull the swarf out of the hole instead of dropping it down into the tank. Like so. Sometimes it's easier if you just put a marking on the flat part of the tank where you're going to put your hole, just as a bit of a guideline, so you don't put it down too low. If you try to put the fitting here, the tank starts to become radius there, and it's going to be hard for you to seal on the gasket. So you want to put the fitting up here on the nice flat part where the gasket will seal up good. Next up, remove the fuel cap and get your accelerator cable. Feed your accelerator cable down through the hole you just drilled and put your finger in the fuel filler cap hole and just reach down and pull the accelerator cable out through there. If you're having troubles fishing the throttle cable out of the tank, you can put a bend in it like that so that it comes around to the top as you feed it in. Otherwise, get yourself a pair of pointing nose pliers and just reach down into the tank and pull it out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is remove our nut and washer off our fuel tank fitting, like so. Now we're going to put the fitting onto the throttle cable, and you want to do that with the thread side first. Okay, you can see here that this is going to be inside the tank and this is going to be outside the tank. So feed it on like that. Hold the throttle cable, and now we're going to jiggle that down, around and up through the hole. Just like so. Now you're ready to install your washer over the throttle cable like that, and then your nut. So now that you've got the nut installed onto the fitting, you can remove your throttle cable, and then it's just a matter of doing it up, and you're going to use your multi-grips to hold the fitting and a 14mm ring spanner to do up the nut. Lightly grab the fitting with your multi-grips, and then with your 14mm ring spanner, do up the retaining nut. It should be quite firm because you really want to pull the fitting into the gasket. But you don't want to swing on it because it is only aluminium and plastic. Lastly, reinstall your fuel cap. Also too, I like to rotate these backwards until I hear that click and then spin it forwards. That way I know that the thread's not going to get crossed up. Also too, don't use too much pressure to do these up, otherwise you can deform the tank and wreck the threads. So now you have your fuel pickup, your fuel return, and your breather fitting. So there you have it. That's how you install an extra fuel fitting on your Tony Kart fuel tanks. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notifications, go to our website www.powerpublic.com.au, grab yourself a t-shirt or a Tony Kart fuel tank. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.